Imagine slipping into the sleek, sweet suit of Spider-Man, swinging high above the bustling streets of New York. This isn't just another daydream spurred by a comic book, this is Spider-Man 2000, a game that not only allowed players to embody their favorite web-slinger, but also set a new standard for how superhero stories could be told in video games. Now, I say 2000 not like 2099, but because that was the year this game was released. Developed by Neversoft, this title was a pioneering force, bringing Peter Parker's world to vivid life with a narrative depth and gameplay innovation that hadn't been seen before in the genre. As we peel back the layers of this iconic game, we'll uncover how it crafted a narrative so engaging it felt like you were living a double life. One as a mild-mannered photographer by day, and as a crime-fighting hero by night. Join me as we dive into the origins and development of a game that swung from the comic strips into gaming history, setting the stage for a new era of superhero adventures.
When humanity conforms to a single truth based in technological progress and scientific method, we will be unstoppable.
The saga of this game begins not in a bustling metropolis, but within the walls of Neversoft, an American game development studio already famous for its work on the Tony Hawk's Pro Skater series. The idea to develop a Spider-Man game was born from a unique mix of opportunity and inspiration. After the success of Tony Hawk, Marvel approached Neversoft, intrigued by their ability to translate the skateboarding subculture into a widely adored video game. They were betting on Neversoft to inject the same magic into the Spider-Man universe. At the helm of this project was creative director Chad Findley, a man whose vision was not only to make players feel like Spider-Man, but to immerse them fully into his world. Findley, led together with a team of talented developers, including programmer Mike Ward and artist Chris Ward, set out to create a game that was true to the Spider-Man ethos, but innovative in its execution. They faced a monumental task, adapting the Tony Hawk game engine for a completely different genre. This adaptation was crucial as it allowed for seamless web-slinging mechanics that felt natural and thrilling, akin to skating through the New York skyline. The development process was a web of complexity. Neversoft had to ensure accurate depictions of Spider-Man's movements and abilities while also crafting a narrative that could stand shoulder to shoulder with the beloved comic series. This involved deep dives into comic book material and constant revisions to ensure fidelity to the Spider-Man lore. But the challenges were not just creative. Technically, the team pushed the boundaries of what was possible on the PlayStation hardware at the time, optimizing web-slinging physics and character animations to run smoothly, which was no small feat given the hardware limitations. Here's a fun fact that might stick to you like a Spidey on a skyscraper. Did you know that during development, the team implemented a web meter that would deplete as you swung around the city? However, they scrapped this idea in the final stages to avoid limiting the freedom that is so central to the experience of being Spider-Man. Moreover, the voice acting played a significant role in bringing authenticity to the game. Rino Romano, who lent his voice to Spider-Man, brought a level of charisma and relatability that resonated well with fans. His performance, coupled with the game's dynamic soundtrack composed by Tommy Tallarico, encapsulated the essence of a superhero life fraught with danger, yet driven by a mission to protect.
A Spider-Man made off with Octavius' new invention, but not the Spider-Man, not me. Somebody's framed me. Why? I don't know yet. And if New York's finest catch me, it may be too late.
As the year 2000 approached, anticipation buzzed through the gaming community. Spider-Man was poised to swing into the hearts of gamers, backed by a robust marketing campaign that capitalized on the rising popularity of superhero films and comic book adaptations. Neversoft and Activision didn't just throw out a couple of web zingers. They launched a full-scale promotional assault, complete with eye-catching trailers and an array of merchandising that promised gamers the thrill of becoming Spider-Man. When the game finally launched, it wasn't just the gamers who were caught in its web. Critics too were ensnared. Reviews praised the game for its faithful adaptation of the Spider-Man lore and its innovative gameplay mechanics. Spider-Man not only captured the essence of swinging through New York City, but also delivered a compelling narrative that felt like it had been lifted straight from the comics pages. The game's ability to balance action with story was particularly lauded, creating a rhythm that kept players hooked from one mission to the next. Commercially, Spider-Man was a powerhouse. Within months of its release, it had sold hundreds of thousands of copies, eventually earning a greatest hit status on the PlayStation. This commercial success was a testament to the game's broad appeal, resonating not just with hardcore gamers, but also with casual fans and those new to gaming. It stood shoulder to shoulder with other big releases of the year, but it was its innovative approach to superhero gaming that set it apart, an approach that many games would attempt to replicate in the years following. The game's reception reflected a turning point in how superhero games were perceived. No longer were they just niche products, they had mainstream appeal. This shift was partly due to Spider-Man's accessibility. Neversoft designed the game to be enjoyable for both seasoned gamers and newcomers, a strategy that paid off immensely in broadening its player base. But it's the reverberations of Spider-Man that echoed far beyond the confines of its immediate release, weaving its way into the fabric of the gaming industry and pop culture at large. The game's innovative mechanics, particularly its fluid web-slinging and dynamic combat system, became a benchmark for future superhero games. Developers took note of how seamlessly Neversoft integrated these elements, creating a template that would be mimicked but seldom matched. Games like Batman, Arkham Asylum, and later entries in the Spider-Man franchise built upon these foundations, enhancing and adapting them to fit their unique narratives and universes. Beyond the industry, this game sparked a renewed interest in superhero narratives, contributing to the resurgence of comic book adaptations that dominated the early 21st century. The game's success proved that there was a lucrative market for superhero stories, encouraging film and television producers to invest more heavily in these franchises. The fan community played a pivotal role in sustaining the game's legacy. Enthusiasts created mods, fan art, and even amateur voice acting reels, contributing to a vibrant culture that kept the spirit of the game alive. Online forums and fan sites buzzed with discussions, theories, and shared memories, cementing Spider-Man 2000 as a beloved classic in the hearts of many. But despite its soaring success and revolutionary impact, the journey of Spider-Man wasn't without its sticky situations and tangled webs.
Being Spider-Man has given me a lot and taken a lot away, but one thing never changes: my responsibility to use my powers for others before myself, no matter what the cost.
The development and subsequent life of the game were marked by a series of challenges and controversies that tested the mettle of its creators and shaped its path in the industry. During its development, Neversoft grappled with the immense pressure of delivering a game that lived up to the monumental expectations of both Marvel fans and gamers. This pressure was compounded by technical limitations of the era's hardware. The team had to innovate tirelessly to implement Spider-Man's web-slinging mechanics fluidly without overtaxing the PlayStation's capabilities, balancing fidelity to the comics with gameplay that could run smoothly on existing technology was a tightrope walk that required constant adjustment and creative solutions. Post-release, Spider-Man faced its share of legal and licensing hurdles. Marvel, being protective of its intellectual property, kept a close eye on how its characters and stories were portrayed. Any deviation from the established lore or unauthorized use of the character had potential to spark disputes, necessitating a delicate balance between creative freedom and adherence to licensing agreements. Moreover, as the game grew in popularity, it became a target for piracy, which not only affected sales, but also posed ethical dilemmas for the gaming community. In the long term, Spider-Man encountered the typical challenges of aging in the fast-evolving video game industry. As graphics and gameplay mechanics advanced, the game risked being remembered only with nostalgic fondness rather than as a continuing influence. This issue is emblematic of the broader challenges faced by early pioneers of gaming, whose innovations may be celebrated but can be quickly overshadowed by newer technologies and storytelling methods. Years after its release, Spider-Man 2000 still hangs tenaciously in the memories of gamers and industry aficionados alike, a testament to its lasting influence on the landscape of video gaming. Its legacy is multifaceted, touching aspects of game design, narrative integration, and the broader cultural perception of superhero video games. The direct impact of Spider-Man on the gaming industry can be seen in the slew of superhero games that followed, each trying to capture a piece of the magic Neversoft created. The game set a high bar for character mobility, environmental interaction, and how narratives could be woven seamlessly into gameplay. Future titles like Spider-Man 2 and the more recent Marvel's Spider-Man by Insomniac Games have drawn clear inspiration from Neversoft's pioneering work, pushing the envelope further but always nodding back to the 2000 classic. The aftermath of Spider-Man also saw Neversoft evolving as a company, After proving their mettle with both skateboarding and superhero games, the studio was eventually absorbed by Infinity Ward, a move that expanded its focus but also dispersed its original creative energy into new channels. This transition marked the end of an era, but also the beginning of another, as Neversoft's legacy continued to influence game development in different genres and formats. Now, as we swing toward the end of our journey through the pixelated skyline of Spider-Man 2000, it's clear that this game did more than just allow players to zip through New York City using the iconic web slinger. It revolutionized the superhero video game genre, providing a blueprint that many games have tried to replicate, but few have managed to match. This game captured the essence of what it means to be Spider-Man: the responsibility, the thrill, and the challenge. It brought us closer to understanding what it might feel like to balance the weight of the world with the lightness of swinging freely through the sky. It allowed us to step into the boots of a hero, reminding us that sometimes saving the world is as much about heart as it is about strength. So, whether you're revisiting this classic or experiencing its joys for the first time, Spider-Man 2000 offers more than just a nostalgic trip. It provides a profound insight into the power of gaming to shape hearts, minds, and cultures. It encourages us to explore further, dig deeper, and swing higher. And if you enjoyed this trip down memory lane, wrapped in the webs of gaming lore and superhero exploits, comment with your thoughts, subscribe for more deep dives, and share this journey with fellow gaming aficionados. Because every click, every share, and every subscribe helps keeps the legacy of games like Spider-Man 2000 alive for the next generation of heroes waiting in the wings. We here at the Retro Reload would like to celebrate our 100th episode by covering a game that is near and dear to my heart. I am a giant Spider-Man fan and played this game as a kid until my parents made me go to bed. Thank you so much for joining us. If you enjoyed this trip down the memory lane with Spider-Man 2000, click this video here to see more from the Retro Reload. And as always, thank you for watching.